I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And you're watching
There's Something Wrong with the Elizabeths.
So this was viewing
9. We have returning guest, Robert.
Hi.
Ooh, and Miss Audie Cat.
So she's a dog.
Yeah.
Lizzie hasn't gone that crazy yet. She knows she's a dog. Robert, can you share some thoughts about the Emoji Movie with us?
So right off the bat, I recognized the voice of the lead was the guy from Silicon Valley. Yeah. So you told me that you were going to ask me one thing that I liked about the movie.
Oh.
I told you immediately I knew what it was, and it was because within the first minute, I was reminded of Silicon Valley.
You were reminded of a better
much
thing
better
that you enjoy
thing
watching
to watch.
more than this.
Yeah.
I was
I actually
wondering.
don't think he did a very good job in this movie, but God, so he left Silicon Valley. He didn't leave Silicon Valley to do.
No, he was kicked off, and then but he did.
Okay.
He kind of
I
pretended
guess that's better.
that he left Silicon Valley for in interviews.
Oh yeah,
and
I've
stuff,
heard that he
talks about-
was not nice or something.
Yeah, in interviews he talked about like being glad that he left Silicon Valley, and he really they have to promote this movie. He promoted it a lot, but no, he was being kind of erratic on set.
Yes.
And, not showing up for rehearsals and stuff. So I don't know what was going on with him.
Glad it all worked out for him. He got the Emoji Movie.
Yes.
Yeah. He's definitely a winner.
Yeah.
Got the Emoji
Did he do anything after that? Or was this just a career ender for everybody?
I think he was in Deadpool 2 because he was contractually obligated to, and they kind of screwed over his character, like, on purpose.
Is he in Deadpool 1?
Yeah, he's in Deadpool 1.
Okay.
And Deadpool 1 was before this. I think Deadpool 2 was after this, and it was after a bunch of stuff came out about him. And so they sort of, they screwed over his character on purpose and then replaced a lot of what he was going to do with another character.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the voice of T.J. Miller, even
though
if
I
you didn't
actually
think
don't think. Yeah, I think that there weren't a lot of jokes that the delivery would have saved, but I thought there was a few that maybe with better delivery could have been
something.
Could have been something. Yeah, like his dad had a very hilarious voice.
Yes, Stephen Wright does a very good job.
Though I will say, everyone has their own opinion because he didn't like the delivery of one of the lines where we feel like the delivery is what makes it. Like he didn't even try.
Yeah.
I know that was so weird.
Of course that's not his line, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's James Corden's line.
Have y'all talked about that line?
We've just talked about how that's the joke that I keep laughing at.
Yeah, you did talk about that. I laughed at the initiate...
The Funk Protocol.
That's a quality line, and I laughed out loud. I don't care who knows it.
I will say
that's a good line, right? And in the robot voice, that's good stuff.
So Lizzie and I have been talking for a while about how Smiler definitely has something going on. Like, she has a history. This has happened before. She's carrying with her knowledge of this horrible tragedy, and she's going to stop it. Which includes killing Gene, even when he's only done one thing wrong. And Robert touched on something really early on, which was that it would be more interesting to have a character who's supposed to be happy all the time, despite them not being happy all the time internally. And then you rewrote a line, which I think cinched it, that we are going to officially invite you to come write the prequel with us about Smiler. In the first scene where Gene is being told by Smiler that he's going to be killed, he said, it was...
she says, what is she saying? Something, and she's like, you're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine.
So
something like that.
Yeah, it's like, we'll take care of you. Or you're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. And he says, the first time you said it sounded good. The second time was a little confusing and scary or something. And he said, when he asks if the bots will fix him, are you going to fix me? And she's immediately like, well, in a sense, because they'll kill you and then you won't have this problem anymore.
On the notes.
He said that she should say, they'll fix you. They'll fix you real good. And then you get a second callback of the first one sounded good, the second. And Robert, I feel like you didn't know you were auditioning But you got the part, buddy.
You will officially invite me, and I will officially decline writing this script with you. For the prequel, is that what?
Yes.
Yeah. I will definitely have nothing to do. I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole.
I would like to ask Robert a question I haven't asked any of our guests, but I did put it on my list.
All right, here we go. Get to the juicy stuff.
What emoji do you think you could be? What do you think you could maintain?
Ooh. Help me out here, Liz.
You want me to answer for you? You'd be the cool guy emoji.
Oh, come
obviously.
on. Give me a break. If I just,
With the sunglasses.
Emojis can't snap, though.
Didn't we talk about how you're not cool? But
yeah, I'm not cool. But that's
but
really
you think
sweet.
you're cool.
But remember that there's something wrong with you. It's the premise of the
I do think
show.
he could. I do
So you
think
might
he
not
could
know what's
maintain thinking he's cool,
Yeah, I think you could.
especially if we gave him sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you gotta be cool if you wear sunglasses indoors at night.
Yeah.
Lizzie, do you have one you think you could maintain?
Oh, the eye roll. Especially if this movie was on, or if I was just thinking about it enough.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think I could do the one I use a lot actually, which is blushing and hearts. Just being like, "Aw, thank you,"
Mm-hmm.
because you can do it sarcastically, you can do it realistically. Like I've learned, whenever someone says "I'll be praying for you," you just go, "Thank you." Just like, "Aw." So I think I can maintain that.
So I'll tell you the one I feel most of or a lot of the times. One of my favorite emojis is the one with the, I can't really describe it.
Oh,
But
the
it's
zany
the
eyes.
zany eyes,
Yes.
like when you're getting a lot of crazy information or something. I feel that emoji a lot of the times, but I don't think my eyes can physically twirl around that way.
Now this is interesting because I feel like people's interpretation of emojis is different. Can you expound on what you feel when you use that emoji? What are you expressing with it? Because I use it very differently.
Okay, so I think it would be the perfect emoji for when I was watching the Emoji Movie, right? That's just how I felt the whole time. The swirly eyes.
But it's external information that's sort of throwing you off.
Yeah, and maybe just frustration sometimes. I use it a lot at work, with the, with everybody else, just with the group chat at work, oh, we got to do this today, right? Or oh, this is happening, and then I'll throw out the. That's me doing emoji.
Because your eyes don't physically.
Right, so I just do it with my
You
head.
can't do that with your eyes, Robert.
Just do it
so
with my head.
lame.
That's why he's not the cool guy.
I'm having fun watching myself do that.
See, when I use that emoji, it's because everything inside of me feels like it's coming out in a crazy way. So I use that emoji when I'm filled with
and you're the crazy one.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm filled with anxiety or when I feel twisted up and I'm having a hard day, Josie will be like, "How are you doing?" And I'll send that one and she'll be like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's just bananas."
Well, it is coming to me, but it's from external things causing it.
Yeah,
But
mine's
it
internal
is.
things
Oh,
causing
okay.
Robert doesn't have that.
Right.
it.
Yeah, I mean, really, my emoji is probably just a mild smiley face at all times would be my...
Just that little half smile.
Yeah, not one of the big ones,
Yeah.
but just a little smile would probably be my main emoji that I could maintain.
Not
most
like
of the
a
time.
meh, but a meh.
Yeah, just a...
Or the winky one that's a half smile.
But then he'd only have one eye.
Yeah, I don't have to walk around like this.
Okay, yeah, you couldn't maintain
Doesn't look very
that.
good either.
Mhm.
Look at that.
It's not
Lizzie,
great.
what was your emoji pop?
Oh, I know my emoji pop, and it came from you.
Oh.
So I've been, because we always look in the background, and you said episode 1, you were everything is going to be so intentional. And I've been really watching the background to see the emojis that are standing by each other. But it'll be a hammer and a cookie, or it'll be a lipstick and a lip, and you're okay, yeah, the lipstick and the lip, but then they're talking to a light bulb, and I'm I don't know what that is. It feels there should obviously be messages in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it'd be so easy.
Obviously, that's what they should be doing.
That's what they put in that stupid book.
Yeah, but there aren't any that I can decipher. And frankly, the ones in the book I wasn't getting. Like the cracker and the fart or the eggplant or whatever.
I bought an emoji.
Cheese and eggplant. And I mean, I don't know. And the old lady and the wave, whatever. Anyways, there's like, I'm looking in the background, and I just feel like there's just random emojis, and it totally missed opportunities. But you saw a stop sign and a hammer and a clock for stop. It's hammer time. And I can't believe that wasn't in the director commentary.
It should have been. I don't think the director saw it.
Or it was so inconsequential he just forgot about it.
No, he brought up a lot. Every time he thought he made a funny joke, he made a point to be like, and here's a hilarious joke. Like,
that's how you know it's quality.
He was like, I love that. I love it when the kids hit their heads against each other because they're looking at their phones. That's real classic shit.
Yeah, I will say I thought it was very, like, in the first 5 minutes, it was kind of like really judgmental towards kids.
Preachy.
Like, they've got terrible
children.
They got terrible attention spans. They're always on their phones. They're not paying attention right now, which, I guess is a joke, but it's kind of a joke making fun of the audience that's supposed to like the movie, which you can do after you've built some trust, but maybe not within the first 5 minutes of the movie. Don't start making fun of your audience.
Right.
And the movie never builds trust because it's never funny.
I wonder sometimes, like, there's a book that I tried to read and couldn't, because in the first couple pages, it's like, those idiots who, and I mean, making fun of, and it was promoting to, it was like being promoted to sci-fi fans, like sci-fi and fantasy fans, and it was like those idiots that like, stuff like this, and I was like, I'm one of those, and also you're promoting to that group, so I'm just not going to finish reading this book. But I wonder if because it's a movie, and they're like, we know we've got you for 90 minutes. Probably, especially children who can't just like walk out of the theater.
Drive them. And the parents are like, well, at least they're not talking to me for an hour and a half.
Yeah, instead of staring at the little screen in their hand, they're staring at the big screen in front of them, and this is somehow better.
Yeah. What about that? A little hypocritical.
What was your emoji pop, Elizabeth?
I liked that the high schoolers dress like high schoolers. Like, the high schoolers dress like actual 15-year-olds instead of like Euphoria kids.
I've made that note about Euphoria as well. It's like, what is the school where they allow them to dress that way?
Yeah,
100%.
Or like Riverdale.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, the only one where I was like, and it drew my attention to it because at the very end, the girl wears a strapless dress. And I remember that being a big deal when I was in school. I know, actually, I've been to my high school recently. I mean, not recently, but as a substitute teacher years ago. And, like, they wildly relaxed the dress code. You could have colored hair. You could have ripped jeans. Wildly relaxed it. But, like, when I went to school, having strapless dress was a big deal. And I was like, oh, wow, yeah. I was like, wait, all the other outfits are very reasonable for actual human children to wear.
It is fall in Chicago.
Yeah.
So it's probably kind of cold. But yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And they all look like teenagers.
And I like that.
Yeah, I agree. And they act like awkward and weird around each other, and that is nice to see.
What was the theme of the movie? Was it to be yourself? Was that the theme?
Who knows?
I think so. It's just that you're supposed to be yourself.
Oh, wait, the director said something.
He did.
Really good. The director said something.
Nice
you wrote it
little
down.
line, and I wrote it down. Yeah, it was in the director commentary. He said, do I have to change to be accepted, or can my differences change the world?
Okay, so it's not just be yourself. It's like, if you be yourself, you'll change the world.
Well, I mean, I think it is interesting though. Like, I mean, I think it's way beyond this movie. I'm not giving it credit for this, but I think it is like, you can change to be accepted and have like a very calm life.
Yeah.
Or you can choose to sometimes fight against the status quo and maybe make some good changes. It won't be easy.
You can invent
Though
gifts.
I do think it's.
You can invent gifts.
I do think, though, it's important, like, if that's the theme, it's kind of an important failure of the theme that he doesn't make the choice at all.
No.
He just kind of fucks up at his job
The
and
movie
gets
should
fired.
be about jailbreak.
And then they try and murder him for being fired. And that leads to him somehow saving the world.
Yeah. The movie should be about jailbreak. But
Yeah, but also she's really annoying.
on that note, Robert, I'd like to play a game with you. Would you like to play a game? I wish
No,
I could do a Jigsaw
okay.
impression.
Let's go for it.
Okay. So I have a selection of quotes.
All right.
They're from either the Unabomber.
Good.
Or critics talking about this movie.
All right.
So there is no contradiction here. A person whose attitudes or behaviors bring him into conflict with the system is up against a force that is too powerful for him to escape. His life would be so much easier if he just thinks and behaves as the system requires.
Unabomber.
Good job!
Here we go. Here
Wow.
we go.
I thought that was a credit.
Let's go.
Oh, God.
That was a shout out to the 2017 kids that watched this. But let's go there.
Sure, girl.
There is no soul, there is no real voice other than having money. It's almost like if God didn't exist and money was the only thing that mattered, then this would be the embodiment of that society.
Okay, I was definitely gonna say Emoji Movie until God was brought in. And that really kind of... But I'm gonna stick with it. Critic for Emoji Movie.
Good job!
Here we
We're
go.
2 for 2. That was a critic for the Emoji Movie. Oh, let me see. Oh, this was a weird one. A normal young boy wants to spend his time in active contact with the real world. Among the American Indians, for example, boys were trained in active outdoor pursuits. Just the sort of thing that boys like. But in our society, children are pushed into studying technical subjects, which most do grudgingly.
This is too out there to be a critic for the Emoji Movie, so give me
I
Unabomber!
thought I was going to get you with that one. It's Unabomber!
Yeah!
You are 3 for 3, my friend.
I'm the
Nicely
champ!
done.
Cannot be stopped!
You have done better than anyone else in that game, actually.
The champ is here.
We will probably make 12. I think we'll probably make 12. We're going to at least make 11, which will beat Lady in the Water and
records. Alright.
and Showgirls. You gonna be okay, Lizzie?
Oh, that'd be
Lizzie.
great.
You'll do that dance.
She was
song
just
again.
telling you how much more
Don't
you
hit
have.
me. Nothing gives you that right.
All right.
Well, I'm
Let's
assuming
wrap
that
this up.
Number
anyone's
10.
watched this.
This is
seems
the
to be
John
great.
Tyler viewing.
What does that mean?